Good evening, everyone. I can feel the excitement in the hall as we come to the most awaited session of the day. The special keynote session featuring one of the most respected actors of Indian cinema, Mr. BOMAN IRANI. The topic he would be speaking is It's Never Too Late to Start. And this session is brought to you by SBI Life Insurance Company. We are very privileged to have with us Mr. BOMAN IRANI tonight. But before we invite him onto the dais, I would like to request Mr. Arijit Basu, Managing Director, SBI Life Insurance Company Limited, to kindly do the honors of introducing Mr. BOMAN IRANI, our special keynote speaker for tonight.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I have been given a very difficult task of introducing Mr. BOMAN IRANI. It's difficult because he's a person who needs no introduction. And he's known across the country for what he has achieved. But however, what I will do is to just relate a few personal experiences that I have had about him, and which has shaped my understanding of what he stands and represents. The first was sometime in 1999 or 2000, was the first time that I had the opportunity of staying in Bombay in the course of my work. And having gone from Calcutta, there was this talk that, Calcutta is good in theatre, in Bengali theatre, but if you were to talk of English language theatre, then Bombay is the place. And one of the first plays, subsequently I've had the privilege of seeing many plays, but one of the first plays which I was sort of suggested that I should see, and it still leaves an imprint in my memory, is a play called I Am Not Baji Rao, in which Mr. IRANI played the role of a 75-year-old man, and that even today is talked about as one of his finest performances. The second instance, again personal, was I think sometime in 2005 or 6, when I was in Chandigarh, again posted there, and he was doing his second Munna Bhai film, Lage Raho Munna Bhai, in which he played the role of Sardarji, as we all know, Lucky Singh. So as the film was ending, this was in a hall in Chandigarh called Dhillon Cinema or something of that kind, and as the movie was ending, my wife and I were just saying that, he's done brilliantly, but our Sardarji is in Punjab actually like this. So I said, yeah, we don't know, we've just come to Chandigarh, we'll see. And the lights were off at that time, and as the movie ended and the lights came on, you would not believe, both of us started laughing because around 20 people who were around us were exactly the way Mr. IRANI had portrayed the character in Lage Raho Munna Bhai. That is the kind of, excellence that he has achieved in his own field. We in SBI Life were very privileged to have him in one of our functions earlier this year. And he shared his experiences as a person from Bombay, who belongs to Bombay, who has grown up in Bombay, and how he has shaped his own life and career. It was immensely. We know him as someone who's extremely witty, a versatile actor, a wonderful speaker, but the way he was able to use facets of his own life to explain how you can overcome challenges and do what he has managed to do. A lot of things we may not be aware. I am aware because I was there in that April meeting about what all he, other than movies and plays, he has managed to do. So I am very hopeful that this will be a wonderful session again. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to invite Mr. BOMAN IRANI for this most important session of today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Kind words. I was listening outside. Come on. Come on, guys, little energy. Even my wife greets me better when I get home. Yeah, ye kya hai? She shows more excitement after 32 years. Come on, let's hear it. Come on. Not for me, just to bring some energy into the room. It's been a long day, and I'm hoping that this will be a wonderful experience. So thank you very much once again for having me here. And I will need a lot more energy from you, okay? Do I have your word for it? So who said no? Someone said no, actually. Quick introduction about myself. I'm an actor, as you mentioned very, very sweetly. But my guys from event managers, companies, when they call me for events like this, they want to give me a long brief as to what the company is doing, what it means, last year's statements, this year's statements. I don't understand a damn word, honestly. And what's it got to do with my session? And then finally I realize what these guys, top management, what these guys actually came to ask me. And the truth comes out. And the question comes out. And the question is, so what's Priyanka Chopra like? Basically, it boils down to that. My school friends also very jealous of me, not because I'm an actor, but because I get to act with the most beautiful women in the country. You know, so what can I say? Here it goes. Where is it? Hey, who's that guy? Not working, huh, Baba? How much we rehearsed in the afternoon and still not working. Anyway, rehearsal is so important, but then at the end of the day, it doesn't. No problem. Chalu hai na? Come on, bring it up there. No, forget it. No problem. Let's get on. So what's Priyanka Chopra like? What's Deepika Padukone like? And I get sometimes fed up, you know. Yeah, okay. Battery. Technology ka ye phone, Baba. Kaan pe lagao ka. No problem. Sir, don't worry. Don't panic. We can manage without it. He's back. Okay, forget it. So anyway, I just want to say, guys, please don't feel jealous that I get to work with the most beautiful women in the country. The truth of the matter is that I only play their father. So forget about it. Okay? I only play their father. What's the big deal? But daddy gets the tightest hug, just by the way. Okay. The hero breaks the girl's heart. The heroes do nothing these days. Shah Rukh Khan is only widening his arms like that. करता है कुछ नहीं है, दिल तोड़ता है, मेरे पास आता है, get the tight hug. Daddy! Feels good. But then I too got a chance to play a romantic hero once. I had a chance, but look at my luck. They gave me Farah Khan. Yeah. Now, what more can I say? Bad luck. Anyway, here we're going to talk about a journey. It's not an exceptional journey, it's an everyman's journey. Probably each and every one of you will have some identity with this journey that I'm talking about. It's not an exceptional journey simply because I've not gone on Mount Everest on one kidney or one lung or something like that. I have gone through the trials and tribulations of life that everybody goes through. So it will resonate with each and every one of you. This is not a film actor talking to you. This is one of you talking to you. And I think that would be the way that we level this opening and move ahead. So I'm going to tell you that from the start, my journey starts from the day I was born, or maybe even predates that, till the day that I signed my first film. The rest, you know, better than I, sometimes. Okay? So let's start the day I was born. I was born on the 2nd of December, 1959. It's 57. Don't calculate. Don't waste your time. It's 57 years old. Don't And 2nd of December 1959, and my father, he passed away in the May of 1959. 6 months before I was born, my father passed away. Well, it sounds a little grim. Don't make grim faces, okay? It's working? It's working! It's working. I lost my chain of thought, yeah. So, my father passed away in the May of 1959, which means that I was born posthumously, a word that I learnt many years later. I said, what the hell is posthumous? I didn't know that meaning till I looked up many years later. We said, oh, he's a posthumous child, so sad. Please don't feel so sad for me, because it's not a sad story. I'm standing here in front of you, pretty happy kid, right? It gets worse. Anyway, we'll go on. We'll just go through these pictures quickly. That's Deepika Padukone, that's Priyanka Chopra, and of course, that's my favorite Farah Khan. Anyway. So we will go past this. So I was born in this Parsi family. Everybody in this room knows who a Parsi is? No, you have to tell me. This will break my heart because there are only 67 Parsis left in this world. I just want to let you know. Only 67,000 Parsis left in this world. Did you know that? Yeah? Sad, right? Very sad. Who knows, who doesn't know who a Parsi is? Don't be afraid, we won't bite. You know, all these guys are going on about the tiger, the Bengal tiger and the Sundarbans, and they are also dwindling in numbers. I said, forget about the damn tiger, save the Parsi, you know. We could... I'm telling you, we have issues. We have issues, you got to save the Parsi. And all the elders of my community. Boss, what's going on? Like all the elders of my community. We'll settle down. I'll pose for you. Don't worry. Kar lete yaar. Ek bar kar hi lo. Then we are free. Kar lo. Le lo photo. Yeah. Aise. Fir aise. We got it. Now settle down, guys. I empathize with photographers. We'll come there. So, where was I again? See, I got distracted. Sorry? Parsi, 67,000 Parsis left on this planet. And the elders of the community come to me and said, Baman, kuch karo yaar. Ab main kya karoon? I'm 57 years old. He said, no, advise the kids. I said, what do you want me to advise? I can't go on the honeymoon and supervise what they are supposed to do, right? I can't do that. No. Anyway, that was just a serious joke. It was not a joke, it's a serious joke. This really is happening to our community. But anyway, I was born in a Parsi family and my father had passed away. So I'm born in a house that is surrounded by women. My mother, 3 sisters, 5 chachis, 5 more aunts from my father's side, 5 female cousins, only women. And I was this really scared child, a little effeminate if I might add. Don't worry, I'm normal, I did become. Don't worry, not Dostana. No, don't worry, brother. Anyway, so I'm surrounded by these women. I used to be really afraid of the male voice. So I was very, very cocooned, very protected, very afraid of the outside world. What happened to me was, I became a very shy child. To add to my woes was that I had a speech defect. Totla, as they say. And I used to lisp, much like virus used to lisp, with a squeak. So many classes in a school, sticking out like that. And I'll tell you something, just as you're laughing right now, people used to laugh at me, and because of that, I felt I'm damaged goods. And because of that, it's a psychology that works on you. You know, you're not normal, your father's not around, you speak funny, you walk funny, you're surrounded by women. You don't know what a man looks like, you don't know what a man sounds like. And you speak squeaky, and you speak with a lisp. And I said, better to keep quiet. So I never spoke till I was in the 7th standard. I never opened my mouth. So much so that when my mother took me to St. Mary's School, Arijit was telling me, his wife teaches there. In St. Mary's School, this is a true story, Arijit. I went for the entrance exam and Father Molinet, the priest, said, Mrs. IRANI, don't worry, we understand your situation. We will give your son admission. I just have to ask him 2 mandatory questions just as a formality. And he put me on his lap and he said, showed me a photograph. And I was not going to answer unless, of course, what he showed me did not have an S in it. If there's an S in it, I'm not answering because then I'll come out with my lisp. And if I come out with my lisp, he'll think I'm an idiot. That's the child thinking. Lo and behold, he took out a photograph. What was the photograph of? A horse. He showed me the photograph of a horse. So I'm not opening my mom is pinching me on the backside. Bol, kuch bol, jaldi bol. But I'm not answering. Then he showed me another photograph, that of a mouth. I am not answering. Guess what? He did not give me admission in St. Mary's School. I went home, mummy cried and cried. Why didn't you answer? You know, Parsi women, mummies are. Of course, how would you know? So you're a Sardarji, how would you know? But this is the catch, and this is something that I like to speak to people who are from HR. You know, an entrance test. Father Molinet calls up my mom 10 days later, and he says, Mrs. IRANI, we are educationists. What kind of people are we if we do not recognize that a child is just reticent and shy and has some kind of problem that we cannot identify at this point of time? Which child does not know what a horse is? Which child does not know what a mouse is? We are stupid that we did not know that this child has some kind of problem. Please bring your child to St. Mary's School and we will give him admission and take over from now on. I feel proudest when, people clap at this story because it's not about me, it's about Father Molyneux and his vision and his understanding. It's about someone else, a person. Had he not given me admission that day, I don't know how my life would have turned out. But these are important people who push you and realize their own mistakes and their own shortcomings, not yours. It was his shortcoming, not mine, that he recognized. So I'm really, really happy when people feel emotional about this story. Thank you. Anyway, my speech never came to the fore. I never spoke. I sat in the class, never opened my mouth. Never opened my mouth. I used to get remarks for being silent. People get remarks for being naughty and talkative. V talkative. I would get V quiet. Believe it or not. Of course, then I became a tyrant after the 7th standard because I had learning disabilities. Dyslexia, dyscalculia, whatever you call it. In the good old days, what was the technical term in the 60s for dyslexia? Do we know? Thank you, Amir Khan. I think we owe him a big round of applause and thank him for telling us what dyslexia is, learning disability is in Tare Zameen Par. Come on, have you seen that film? Parents, very important. Let's hear it for Amir Khan. Come on, I want energy in the room. But in the 1960s, what was the technical term for dyslexia? Do you know? Does anybody know? Sorry, sir? Duffer. That's right. That's what they call me, Duffer. Bichara BOMAN was my pet name. Bichara, poor fellow. He's not going to get past the 4th standard. No way. And I was really struggling. Believe it or not. So the marks weren't great. Till the 7th standard, mother sent me to a speech therapist. And one fine day, 6 months of speech therapy. And I started talking. And you give me a mic now, I won't shut up for 2 hours. In those days, I couldn't open my mouth for 7 years in school. And that makes a big difference. Mrs. Hirji Baden taught me how to speak, put marbles in my mouth. I swallowed some marbles. Anyway, that's another long story. Comes the 10th standard. I come across looking pretty smart. I don't look stupid on the face of it. But guess what marks I got in the 10th standard? ICSE. Take a guess. I got a high 3rd class. Yeah. You're not laughing at me? Huh? I got a high 3rd class, and guess what? Guys with high 3rd classes can't do the usual. They can't become doctors, they can't become engineers, they can't become lawyers. And there was a hot new thing happening in those days. It was called chartered accountant. Yeah. I couldn't do any of those. So I decided to take an assessment of who I am. I'll show you a little picture of a very frightened me as a child. That's me on my Navjot day. That's the thread ceremony. And that's my father in the photograph. And that's me on one of my birthdays, I think. And that's my mom in the photograph behind. This guy looking at me and say, wow, hey, that's my mom you're talking about, man. What? Yeah, he said, seriously? Ooh, no, not bad. You're a naughty boy. That is my mom, actually. That's not my mom. Don't be silly, man. My mom is more beautiful than this. What the hell, yaar? She is beautiful. She really is. So I decided, what do I do with myself? What do I do? Become a carpenter? No, I'm not good with my hands. I took a kind of a self-assessment and I said, I am good with people. I like to talk. I'm friendly. What should I do? I came up with a marvelous idea. A marvelous idea. And the idea was, I'm going to be a waiter. Wow. And I took great pride in the fact I went to my granny and I said, Granny, I want to be a waiter. She's saying, Dikra, you must. But only one condition. What's the condition? Be the best damn waiter in the world. Everything is fine. Just be the best. And then I did a little course in waitering and I went to no less Taj Mahal Hotel. My deal is very simple. Never settle for second class. Always first class. Reach for the stars. Aim for the stars and you will land on the treetops at least. It's a basic theory. Reach for the stars, you land on the three drops, go to Taj Mahal Hotel, the best, the only hotel in you know, that was meant something. And there I'm standing in front of Sam Bhada, Parsi, Khadus. Parsis are Khadus, huh? Everybody's not sweet and friendly like me. Just want to let you know. Sam Bhada asked me, so, want a job? I said, yes. Waiter? I said, yes. Which department? The minute style se bola. Food and beverage. He's saying, idiot, the whole hotel is about food and beverage only. Which department? So I said, always, reach for the stars, land on the treetops. I said, the rendezvous at the top floor. I was really reaching for the stars. He didn't even send me on the treetops. He sent me to the basement. He said, idiot, go to room service in the basement. Go and pay your bloody dues first before thinking big. Go and pay your dues. So he sent me to room service. I went to room service and I walked up and down Taj serving tea, coffee, drinks, beer, and many other things that I'll talk about in my memoirs, maybe not here. And there I was, thinking that I had hit the big time. Why had I hit the big time? Because life was different. The bill came in a leather folder. We were getting bills in a little pauti, in a little vati full of badi shape, yaar, और pauti में आता था, पैसे डालते थे और हो जाता था. ये तो folder में आता था, sign करते थे लोग. Wow, I said fancy. I love the fancy. And people didn't have to pay. Chai, 1 cup of tea in the Taj Mahal Hotel was for 9 rupees. When in the IRANI restaurant, it was for 50 paisa. They're still ripping us off, these 5-star hotels. Anyway, that's another story. Joking, guys. I'm joking, guys. Yeah. And one guy put 5 rupees in the folder. I said, wow. Oh, not wow. Chai is for 9 rupees. I said, sir, I'm so sorry, but the tea is for 9 rupees. He said, no. That's not for the tea. That's for you. That's for me? $5? I ran and called my mother. People call and say, Mom, I made my first million. That's the normal norm. I went and told my mother, Mom, I made my first $5. And wow, what a thrill it was to make 5 rupees for Bichara BOMAN, who had no hope in life, dyslexic, dyscalculic, and also Bichara BOMAN. Horrible. My mother met with an accident. And my mother used to run a shop, which my father ran before her, and my grandfather before him. It was called Golden Wafers. Golden Wafers was where we fried in a bhatti potato chips in a furnace, and you had that big tennis racket kind of sieve, and you would throw it in the air and deep fry wafers and sell them in a shop here. The shop was no wider than this, from this speaker to this speaker, no deeper than this. And in the next room, there was a little bhatti where we used to fry the wafers before this Lays came into our lives, by the way. And garam wafers was what we sold. And I had to join the shop. I used to sometimes fry the wafers myself. And at that point in time, I got used to a life. My tips and everything stopped. And all the tips that I made, I actually put in a piggy bank shaped like a piggy. And I put it away. And this was my new life at the age of 20. And one fine day, the most beautiful woman in the world entered the shop. My mother-in-law. So you're clapping very loudly, you know. I am assuming your wife is not sitting next to you. I'm assuming. Who's the lady sitting next to you? No, naturally she isn't. But you're very brave, I must say. You're clapping away, mother-in-law. Ho, we all love mother-in-law jokes. That's very, very sweet of you. But my mother-in-law brought in this wonderful girl with her. And they started a romance. And she used to come and buy wafers every day. Every day. Her father got suspicious. Why are you buying wafers every day? So she says, no. I say, no, don't buy wafers every day. But she continued to come. She had to come to the shop, right? And she used to go to the end of the road, to the gali, ka naka, and give the wafers to a beggar over there. By the time we got married, the beggar became so fat. I got married at the age of 25. And before I turned 26, I became a father. So why are you frowning, sir? One sec. Yeah, just see this guy. See this gentleman, sir. Hi, BOMAN. What's your name, sir?
Joydeep.
Joydeep. Okay, listen. What did I say? I got married at the age of 25, and before I turned 26, I became a father. You should see Joydeep's expression when I said that. कैसे हो सकता है? You were thinking what you were thinking, right? You give me that? My observation powers are fantastic. But don't you worry, because all these guys who are laughing loudly were thinking the same thing. All of them, rascals, all of them. ये कैसे हो सकता है? कौन से महीने में? I'll tell you, I got all doubtful Thomases, all of you. You too? You also thought I look like such a rascal or what? You did. What about you, sir? Yeah, he's ringing. It's okay. He's saying it's okay. Yeah, ठीक है, मतलब. Arey, we need legal Parsi babies. What's the matter with you here? I got married on the 28th of January, 85. And 26th of November, my son was born. 9 महीने हो गए ना, बराबर है? मैं भी डाउट खा रहा हूँ इन लोगों का चेहरा देखेंगे ना. I am doubting. Yeah. Bapre, that scared me for a moment. Arijit, what is it? They put doubt in my own mind. We need legal Parsi babies, okay. So here we are. That's my golden wafer company. Yeah, look at it. Yeah. There were happy days when we used to make some fantastic wafers. This line lagti thi wafer ke liye. People were told that you go to the vicinity and you don't need to know the address. You follow your nose. That was it was that good. It was that good. And this is me and Zenobia on our wedding day, 25, and that's little Danish, born 9 months and 3 days later, legally. And guess what? I got some news for you. That little Danish over there, he's become a daddy 5 months ago. Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. I didn't do anything. Why are you congratulating me? I mean, they did what they had. Sorry? Yeah, I suppose so, but I didn't do anything. Let me trust. But it's such a wonderful feeling to be a grandfather. I tell you, I feel even younger for some strange reason. It really is. And then 3 years later, my second son, Kaio, came along, and life is perfect. Life is perfect. And this is what I'm going to talk to you a little later about, is getting into comfort zones. We become actors, our movie becomes a hit, and then we say, we've done well for ourselves. That's the dangerous part. When you settle down, you have a beautiful wife, you got 2 beautiful children, the shop is doing well, that's the dangerous part. Because you've settled down to what is a comfort zone. And that's what happened to me, because I'm not ashamed to tell you, but for 7 years after marriage, and my kids had become big, 7 years, Danish, I did not take my family out of Mumbai for a holiday. And that hurt me. I did not have the time because I was working 6.5 days a week because a shopkeeper has to be there. I was a shopkeeper. And secondly, I did not have the wherewithal. You know, it's a family business. You can't be going around spending money like that. So I decided that I should do something with my life and use a talent of mine productively. What did I have? I had a piggy bank with some money in it. And what else did I have? I had a monkey. I had a monkey that was sitting in my tummy, and that creative monkey was dying to jump out. And I feel that creative monkey trying to jump out every 3 years of my life. When I settle down, I do something. I want to do something different. I want to do something and raise the bar. At that point of time, I said photography. That was the creative monkey. So I broke the piggy bank and I bought myself a camera, and there I started doing photographs of school events of sports. I read in an article where somebody could afford to run his hobby by doing school events. So as to go take photographs of school races, cycle races, motocross races, tug of war, you name it. Go to the airport and take pictures of the karate team that was going for some place. You know, everybody used to go to the airport in the good old days to say bye-bye with haars and, dhols and, whatnot. And I started selling pictures at 25 rupees a piece, 30 rupees, 35 rupees. Raised my rates. I was so thrilled with myself. I started collecting money to a point where I could afford to take my family for a holiday. We went for a holiday to Ooty. We didn't have any websites then. So I looked up the the classifieds in the midday. And there it was, Hotel Shoreham Palace. Palace sounds good, right? Palace sounds good. I was very proud of myself. That's the first time in my life I did a hotel booking. And we went by the Udyan Express, went to Bangalore, we took the ST bus, we went all the way up to Ooty, we put our stuff in a rickshaw. Kayo sat in the front, Danish, Zenobia and I behind, our bags on our laps. And I told the hotel, Bhabke mein, style mein bola, Hotel Shoreham Palace. He's saying, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? He's saying, no, I don't know. I showed him the cutting. I said, this is the hotel, the address. He said, okay. He was none too happy. Neither was I. I got a little worried. We went to Hotel Shoreham Palace. We dropped us out on the street in front of the hotel. And this looked like a movie poster. You've seen movie posters with backlighting, four silhouette people holding their hands like that with bags on the side and this big building in the background. Big building. Old building. Have you ever seen a Ramsey Pictures horror film? Yeah. That looked like one of those. My wife doesn't speak too much sometimes. When she does. Oh, just by the way. Anyway, I might as well tell you, she's sitting right here. This is the second time she's attending one of my sessions. Zenobia's right here, please. Yeah. So we are staring at this building, okay? She's staring at this building and she looks at me and does, what do I say? But I'm a quick thinking actor, right? In my mind, I'm an actor. Always want to be an actor. Always. Set your sights fixed. So I said, this is a heritage building. And that's the reason why inside it'll be nicer. So we go inside. It gets worse. Because we go inside, the old guy helps us with the bags. And they open the lock, such a big lock, not one of those key things that don't work anyway. And he opens the door, the sound effects are also like a horror film. And we go inside. I'll tell you, I was looking, and I booked a hotel room for the first time in my life, and this is a horrible feeling. It was dark, pitch dark. So I asked the old man, I said, sir, what happened? It sounds like a horror film, yeah. Okay, are we okay? Zenobia? All fine, yeah. So I asked the guy, light? So he said, okay, light. So the old man walks. He goes, dang, 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 dang. And he goes, reaches for the switch. He turns on a light. And a light comes on. But guess what? The light came on. It was still pitch dark. It was still pitch dark. I was standing over there. He said, okay, see you later. And he went. There was a 0 number bulb in the room. I'm trying to do something fancy for my family. Shoreham Palace. Palace is the only thing I got right in the whole equation. And I'm feeling really rotten about myself. I messed up. I didn't do well. There was a 0 number bulb moment, and in that point, there was an epiphany that happened for me. My life was encapsulated as a 0 number bulb. And I think that each and every one of us at some point in our lives will feel a 0 number bulb moment. It's a good thing. Believe me, it's not a bad thing. I don't know if anybody has felt like that. Maybe not financially, maybe emotionally, maybe whatever else. But we do go through a moment in our life where we reach what is known as rock bottom, as nadir, or a 0 number bulb. How many of us has experienced this? Please don't we? I'm openly talking about. How many of you have experienced a 0 number bulb moment in your life? I mean, that's really honest of you. Thank you so much. That's what I was saying. My story is not a special story. It's your story. Everybody goes through this. And it's great because if you don't go through the 0 number bulb, whether it is part of your job, whether it's part of your relationship, whether it's a financial problem, whether it's self-worth, which is the be-all and end-all of your existence, self-worth. And that time, that self-worth was a big 0. I decided, again, BOMAN formula, reach for the stars and land on the treetops. I came back to Bombay. And this is where I took stock of my life again. I had to raise the bar. I had to do something that was more meaningful, not just sell pictures for 25 and 30 rupees. I had to become known as a photographer if I wanted to be a full-time photographer. I needed to make bigger bucks to say that I can run my family on the strength of my photography. So, I found out. And the news comes. When you take charge of your life, the news comes, and when you take charge of your life, people come. Somehow they find you. You don't have to go around finding them. That's the magic of taking charge of your life. Especially when you're in a rut. When you say, enough of this rut, something happens. I don't know if you experience this. But when you really say कि कुछ करना है, हो जाता है. मेहनत करनी पड़ती है, but हो जाता है. Someone went and told me that the World Cup of boxing is coming to India. That's an Olympic event. The biggest event outside of any cricketing test match in those days was this event. Today, it's a dime a dozen. We have event after event of sporting events that take place in our country. That was the biggest. And the president of the Indian Olympic Boxing Association was another Parsi called Aspi Adajania. This is where my life, again, another HR lesson, turned. I went and met him. And I very nicely, he knew I was from Golden Wafers. I said, sir, yeah, don't worry, it's okay, answer it, no problem. So I'd like to be the official photographer of the World Cup. So you know what he told me? We don't need any official photographer. What the hell is that, man? I'm talking so politely. He's just brushing me. Kitna practice karke aaya tha. I stood in front of the mirror and I practiced how to speak to the guy. I want to be the official photographer. He's saying, we get free photographs from the press. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. I said, okay. I was bamboozled. I turned around to walk away. And then I said, no, never walk away from a fight. Never walk away, whatever happens. Throw something. Reverse it. Give the guy a deal. Stupid. But anyway, I tried. I said, Mr. Adajania, I got a deal for you. He said, sure. He's saying, I'm going to work in your office. I'll do your mail on a typewriter. Okay. I'll deliver it. I'll do ticketing. I'll make coffee. I'll do what you want. 6 months, when the World Cup comes, you give me a badge and I'll sell tickets to the boxers. Photographs to the boxers. My problem. No official photographer. He said, okay, we'll see. Okay, we'll see. And I said, thank you very much. And I started walking out. Hello. Come here. He asked me a very important question. He said, Baman, have you ever taken a photograph of a boxing match? I said, no, sir, I've taken a photograph of motocross and many other things, but not boxing. He's saying, then you got some cheek to walk into my office and tell me that you want to be the official photographer of the World Cup. I said, you got a point, sir. He has a point. It's the same thing that Mr. Sam Bhara told me. Pay your dues. Pay your dues. I said, I'll come back in 2 weeks. I'll go to a local boxing tournament. I'll take some photographs and I'll come and show you. If you like the pictures, fine. Okay, so I went to a local boxing tournament. And I said, this is what I'm going to do. Take some marvelous pictures and I'm going to show Mr. Adajania what I can do. But I went over there and guess what? The worst boxing in the world you'll ever see was going on. The worst boxing, thin guys, knobbly knees. There's nothing happening. I say, what the hell? I mean, they say that if God gives you lemons, you make lemonade. But they were dry lemons, man. And I wanted orange juice, not even lemonade. I said, but theek hai, hum mehnat karenge. We will make with what we have, the best with what we have. Sometimes we always blame our lot. Arey yaar, product acha nahi hai, ye hai, wo hai. Forget it, man. Just keep working at it. And I started taking pictures and I started becoming creative. And if all the press guys were sitting over there, I would be sitting over here and taking pictures. They would be having a smoke over there. I said, no chitter chatter, no nonsense. Just keep taking pictures for 2 weeks. If they were down here, I would be on the tarafa upstairs, being different, being unique, because I wanted to break in. I needed to prove a point. That's the fire that we sometimes lose when we get comfortable. It's a danger zone. When we get comfortable, when we get famous, when we get perks. Perks are the worst thing in the world. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. Do I know what you agree with me or not? Yeah, not everybody going to admit it, but it's true. Anyway, I went 2 weeks later to Aspi Adajania with a folder with photographs, and I placed it on the table. And he looked at me. He didn't open the folder. I said, oh, hell, I've had it. He opened his drawer. And he gave me a letter. And I said, open it. Open the letter. And it said, you have been appointed official photographer of the World Cup. I'm saying to myself, he's not even checked the pictures. Does anybody know why he gave me the job? Does anybody know why he gave me the job? Because I had passion. Because he could see the fire in my belly through my eyes. And sometimes that's all it takes. People sometimes don't buy your product because of the product itself. They're sometimes buying the face behind the product. They're sometimes buying the person and how much that sale means to that person. Not just for numbers, but because it is his passion. It's not about numbers and meeting a target. It's his passion to sell that product because it makes him feel good about himself and his company and make proud of his company. I don't know if you agree with me over here. But he opened the envelope later on himself and he said, wow, these are lovely pictures. These are some of the best boxing pictures I've seen. Later on, he went inside and he gave me a vest with my name on it, official photographer of the World Cup. This is another HR lesson for you. People who believe in you sometimes spring up at the most opportune moments. And then, I was not being paid too much for this job. And I needed to make money. Aspi Adajana calls me and says, go to the Norwegian manager. And there's a job for you. I go. This story changed my life completely. I go to the Norwegian manager and says, Mr. Irani, we need 3 pictures. I said, say it. The first picture is our boxer. His name is Ola Clemetson. All you have to remember is Ola. Please say it after me. Ola? Ola. Okay. So Ola Clemetson is our boxer. He is the only sponsored boxer in the entire World Cup. And I need 3 pictures of him. The first picture is a full-on, high-powered action shot of him hitting the opponent. Psst, you know, twisted face, spittle, sweat. Psst, you can do it? I said, done. Second picture. I want Ola dancing on top of the opponent who's been knocked out. How did he figure that out? Anyway. So this guy is down there and Ola will be dancing on top of him like he's winning the bout. That's the second picture. I said, what about the third picture? The third picture is he'll go, after he wins the bout, he'll go and pick up the Norwegian flag and the Indian flag and wave it over his head together. So done. Then he asked me the very important question. And the question was, to which I didn't have an answer. How much will you charge? I didn't know. I can't say 25 rupees, right? Because he wanted these pictures for a very important magazine. So what do you think I should have said? Someone, what do you think I should have said? How much will you charge, sir? Sorry? You decide. No, no, you can't be selling your product and say you decide. Try doing that. How can I fix the price when I don't know the price? 100, am I underselling myself? I was not sure. You have an answer? Anyone has an answer? I'll tell you, you guys are much smarter than I, but I think that was the day I made the smartest business judgment, the smartest business answer. One time, never again. I'm not that good at business. And the answer is, no. Somebody have to ask me the question. Could you help me, sir? So how much will you charge?
I would have asked, what is it worth to you?
How? Yeah, but then we get into a philosophical conversation. I didn't want to go there. No, just ask me. You're the Norwegian manager. How much will you charge?
3 pictures, $500.
Oh, we are doing some acting. Yeah.
How much will you charge?
Do it in a Norwegian accent. Come on, do some acting probably. Come on.
How much will you charge, Mr. BOMAN IRANI?
This is a cross between a Chinese and a Colombian. Not bad. Give him a big hand. Sporting guy. Take 3.
How much will you charge?
I said international rates. Simple. It came to me. I said international rates. I said to me, in those days, we used to be had such an inferiority about the kind of work that we used to do, that we'd say, no, I'm very happy, sir. Very happy to do your work for you. No. Why should an Indian charge less than, say, an American or a Japanese or a Chinese or a Colombian that, you combined over there for me? Yeah? Why? So he says, okay. But I didn't know. So I went out and I met a photographer called Sabby Fernandez, old timer from Times of India. And I said, Sabby uncle, I'm getting an opportunity to give 3 photographs to a foreign magazine. How much to charge? He says, wow, I'm so proud of you, Bowman, in a short time. I said, uncle, bolo na, kitna paisa kitna lene ka? So he says, Bowman, If the photographs are good, you can charge per picture up to $60. I said, what? I'm charging 25 bucks a picture. And now you're saying $60 for me? Believe it or not, some people are saying $60 mein kaun si badi baat hai yaar. It was huge for me those days, huge. And then he said, if the pictures and the magazine is really big and exceptional, you can charge up to $100. $100? So 60 into 3, my maths ain't good, 180 is 180, or 100 into 3, 300. I know, don't worry, 300, I can calculate that. I'm not that stupid. Comes the day of the fight. Comes the day of the fight, and this is the answer that I wanted. I make some money, a reaffirmation that I can now stop working at the shop and become a full-time photographer. And guess what happened? The fight starts. And I could see my $300 on wings flying away like this. You know why? You know why? Because Ola Clementson was being hammered by the German guy. Tapa, tap, dum, tong, tung, tung. You were sitting like, dum, 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 dum. This is going on. I'm standing over there. They are over here. He's beating the crap out of him. Pardon my French. And I'm saying to myself, I shouted finally. Nobody was cheering, nothing. One fight was going on. So I shouted, come on, Norway! Sab log bola, yaar, tu Norway kya kar raha hai, yaar? But I wanted Ola to win. And then I just said, no, this can't be. You know, in a screenplay, everything is about intention and obstacle. In your life screenplay, there will always be an intention and there will always be an obstacle. If there's no obstacle, that life is not worth living. Imagine you want to be someone, something, and it happens to you overnight without even breaking into a sweat. Is that an interesting story to tell? Everything in your life has to be about intention and obstacle. I needed to get somewhere, and these were my obstacles. Anyway, I had done all my work. These two guys suddenly decide to come dancing in front of me. I'm there. The rest of the guys, the photographers, are down there. And as if somebody heard me, that no, I've come too far for this. Ola Clementson comes up and swings one. In the good old days, one click and one whine. Right? And I got that. I said, $60 jeb me. I was so happy with myself. And then what happens? The German, his knees go like this. Tadak, he falls on like a ton of bricks. And this guy starts dancing over him. $120 jeb me. Or 200 if I was lucky. Or 200. And then I'm saying to the German, the Ola, I said, mental telepathy. Because the guy is, he's going on. I said, Jana, flag leke aana, teesra picture lena. So he goes to the corner. He brings the flag and he waves it out. 3 pictures. I printed them. I went to VSNL. I printed them in black and white. And I always thought we were supposed to courier the pictures. There was no website those days. There was no internet those days. But there was something that I had never heard of called radio photo. You scan the pictures and it takes about 2 hours to scan each picture and you got to send the pictures. So I did that. I went to VSNL. There's only one scanner in VSNL. How many scanners were there in Mumbai those days? 1. That's it. He gives me a pauti, gives me a ticket, sends me home, saying, aa jayega, subah tak pahunch jayega. I come home, very proud of myself, after the boxing tournament, on my scooter. My wife is sitting on the steps of our old Parsi cottage house, and she asked me again. I said, it's going to Have se jayega, yeah. The moment we got up to go into the house, there was a long bell. Trunk call. I answered the phone. And there was this voice that came and said, hello, Mr. IRANI. I said, yes, sir. My name is Triga Sandabo. I said, yes, Mr. Sandabo. Your photographs? I said, yes, Mr. They have not arrived. Well, I'll call you back, sir. I went to VSNL. I called up VSNL. And guess what he told me? Humne nahi bheja. I said, what? नहीं भेजा वो क्या है वो एक ही स्कैनर है ना हमने अच्छा लेकिन तुमने जॉब लिया क्यों? And I drove to VSNL. I went up to the office and I screamed at him And I don't think I've acted better in my life. Full on drama. हमको शर्म आनी चाहिए, एक काम लेते हैं और दुनिया के सामने हम नाक कटवाते हैं. Full dialogue बाजी ऐसा है. He got so scared Parsi थोड़े crack होते. So he took out the machine which he had packed. It was like a washing machine, the scanner. And we scanned the pictures together. And I came home at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I said, I'm sitting here only at VSNL. So he said, नहीं नहीं जाओ, हवे में थोड़ी दिखेगा वो जा रहे हैं, तुम जाओ घर पे, जाओ. I came home at 7 on my scooty, very defeated. And my wife is sitting on the steps. You remember? Yeah. Sitting on the steps and said, what? I said, I don't know. Whatever happens, happens. I mean, I don't know. Forget it. As we get up, once again, the phone rings. Long ring. I said, hello? Mr. IRANI? I said, yes. I'm Triga Sandhu. I said, yes, sir. I know. The photographs? I said, yes, sir. They have arrived. I said, you know what I said? I said, chalo, what we set out to do, we did. We delivered. And Mr. IRANI, I said, yes, sir. They are fantastic. I said, really? What does that mean? Fantastic. Norwegian is supposed to be fantastic. But I was so proud at that moment. And then he asked me that question again. So, Mr. IRANI, how much will you charge? I said, so I told the manager, international rates. He said, okay, I found out. I just checked. I'm saying to myself, saying, how much? I said, I don't know. Either they'll pay me for the 3 photographs 180 or 300. 180 is fine, 150 is fine. Whatever it is, we did our job. He comes back after 5 minutes. He picks up the phone and says, Mr. IRANI. I said, yes, sir. 3 photographs? For 3 photographs, because they are fantastic, we give you $300. I said. So I was really happy. I said, yeah, baby. I started dancing, So you go to the manager and you collect your $900. Mr. IRANI? Mr. IRANI, You're not happy? No, I'm happy. And guys, you know what happened? I was thinking they're going to give me $300 for the 3 pictures. They gave me $900. Hell, someone was listening after all, That was the windfall I needed. MRF had sponsored the event. They called me to Chennai to shoot their first campaign. The tires you race are the tires you buy. And I went to shoot that campaign. I stayed back in Chennai. I stayed back and worked at someone's studio. I became a studio assistant for 3 months. My wife used to write me a letter every day in pen, mostly about the maid and why she's not turning up, how much trouble she's giving, but we all know that. And one fine day, she calls me, and there's a trunk call in the office. I said, hell, what happened? She said, there's a check that's come from Norway. I said, hey, don't touch it. We've been paid and all. No, there's a mistake. Please. But keep it because I'd like to see a check in dollars. It was unique for me then. And I went after 3 months. I went back to Mumbai. I said, show me the check. And she showed me the check. I said, wow, it looks beautiful with the dollar sign and yeah, $900, right? I opened the advice and it's written over there with the letter that came along with it. It said $900 for the reusage of your photographs. They sent me another $900 for reusing the photographs. There was no website in those days. There was no Twitter account in those days or Facebook, God forbid. Thank God for that. But these guys didn't know who I was. I didn't know who they were. They could have easily said, we've overpaid this guy. I thought they had overpaid me to begin with. I thought I was cheating them in any case. But you know what I mean. But they sent me another $900 because that's an ethic. That's an ethic. And I swore to myself, if this is the amount of money that I'm making, which will kickstart my new life and my new career, these are the ethics that I will follow for the rest of my life. I promised myself that day. And guess what? They sent me another $900 and another $900 and another $900. And finally, $600 was the last check. Maybe they used only 2 pictures. But that got me going. It was something to be extremely proud of, to be part of such a miracle. You believe in yourself, you work towards it. Believe me, miracles is not about somebody walking on water. Miracles is what you make of them yourself. And this is, I thought, was one of those. We'll go through a few pictures. This was the early amateur photography I used to do, selling pictures at 25 rupees a pop, right? This was the holiday that we took, the happiest. So I've lived in, traveled the world the 7 seasons, lived in fantastic hotels. But this was so fantastic because we didn't stay in that hotel. We changed the hotel and I went to another place that had only 3 rooms and the other hotel, the hotel was not ready and they gave it to us at a throwaway rate. This was the holiday that I had. And this is that check of $600. I still have it. I still have Now what happens? Now you take the next step. Intention to become a very well-known photographer. So I take all this money and I take a personal loan at a very, very high rate. I didn't know people around, those days, at a very, very high rate. And I start a studio. And for 2 years, no work. No work. You got to pay your dues. Just because somebody is being kind enough to keep sending you checks, the rest of the advertising fraternity is not going to acknowledge that. Oh, so what? Big deal. No work. I was paying interest upon interest. I didn't have money to pay the canteen wala for my rice plate. I didn't have money to put into my scooter for petrol. When the petrol used to run out, I would walk past with the scooter, past the petrol pump. I think petrol pump idhar in a carburetor mein kachra hai, and I used to go home. Such bad times. And it was really, really, and then Zenobia comes and tells me. Zenobia hadn't heard this before, but I feel a little strange. I'm sorry, but I always share it with people. I have nothing to hide, Zenobia. And she said, do you think you're planning to shut down the studio? I said, I've been thinking of it. Saying, no, you're almost there. You're almost there. I said, what about these big interests that have accumulated? I'm paying interest upon a new capital that is of interest. She's saying, sell my wedding jewelry. I said, you think by wearing that jewelry I'm going to smile when I'm seeing your face the way it is right now? Jewelry doesn't make you happy. Seeing you happy will make me happy. And, sorry darling. And she went to Zaveri Bazaar to sell the jewelry. And I stood outside the shop like this. I stood outside the shop like this. She says, come on inside. She's saying, no, I'm not going to show my face to that guy that I'm selling my wife's jewelry. She's saying, nobody knows that you're selling. Wear a face that you're buying. Nobody knows. Look like a buyer and you'll be fine. And later on, which I thought was such a far-fetched thought, buy me diamonds instead. I'm still buying those damn diamonds, man, I tell you. And then what happened? Suddenly, life took a little bit of a change because somebody was gutsy. It takes a little bit of guts always to bring in a little bit of a miracle. She was gutsy about it. And the miracle happened. And this guy, these are some of the photographs I took later on. I started doing reasonably well. I still shot Diana Hayden when she went for Miss World. I shot Sushmita Sen for the first time when she won Miss Universe. And things took a turn. And I started paying off all my backlog of money. And I became a reasonably known photographer. That's Neha Tupia in the middle over there. There's so many important, Nasiruddin Shah, Shabana Azmi. And I became a reasonably well-known photographer. And then one fine day, this gentleman walks into my life. His name is Shamak Dawar. Everybody knows who Shamak Dawar is? Parsi. You can tell by the nose, okay? Name some famous Parsis. Dastur, Jamshedji Tata, Prince Charles of England. क्या वो पारसी नहीं है? उसका नाक देखो यार. मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है. Anyway, so Shamak walks into my studio. He gets his photographs done, and he says something. Shamak is a little bit of a psychic, not psycho, psychic. He is, and he said, "You are going to be very famous." I said, really? As a photographer? He said, I don't know, but you will be very famous. I said, oh, I just take it seriously. He comes back a month later and he says, I want to take you for lunch. I said, okay. And while he's driving, they say, I'm not taking you for lunch. I'm taking you to Alec Padamsi's place. Alec Padamsi. Everybody knows Alec Padamsi? He's got the nose, but he's not a Parsi, just by the way. And he is auditioning for a musical play. And I want you to be in the play. He's saying, Shama, who gave you the idea I wanted to be an actor? He says, Baman, you are an actor. And you will always be an actor. And this is the start. I said, Shamak, I don't want to do this. I don't. He's saying, trust me, if you don't do it now. He's saying, Shamak, I'm just about managing to pay my rents. He says, I'm going to get 200 rupees a night for a show. How am I going to do this? He's saying, just do it. He takes me to Alec Padamsi. I sing a song for him. And I'm sitting over there, singing the song. Shamak is sitting here. He's looking at me and talking to Shamak. He's saying, Shamak, I've been in this business for 40 years and I know talent when I see it. And this man has no talent. I said, oh, okay. I got up to leave. He's saying, Baman, sit down. Alec, if you don't take him in your play, I won't choreograph it. Okay, we gave him a role. And I got a role. Immediately. And can anybody guess what was the first role I ever played on stage as an actor, professionally? Please don't be scandalized, okay? We're all grown-ups over here. We've been through a lot. The first role that I ever played was that. Okay, we're doing okay. Was that of a pimp. Yeah, I played a pimp. You know, it had one song in that play, one performance. It was a long-running play, which means it ran for 3.5 hours. It shut down in 6 shows. That's another story. And I did that play, and suddenly I did my piece. It was like an Elvis Presley kind of song, playing the pimp. And I posed, and the lights went out. And people started to clap. I said, I love this. I said, I love the sound of applause. I love the lights. I love the stage. I belong here. I belong here. And my mother, being a Parsi mother, would go in the interval and go and ask everybody in the interval, how is my son? Good, na? Everybody say, who is your son? He's saying, Arey, the pimp, he's my son. Anyway, that show didn't do well, but somehow Rahul Tikuna comes backstage. He's a director in from advertising, Tikuna Associates, and he says, so what are you doing in December? I don't know, what the hell are you doing? He says, you know, I've got 3 dates to ask of you. Only 3 dates. I'm doing a play. It's an experimental play. The one you mentioned, Arijit. An experimental play. 2 old men sitting on a bench. For 2.5 hours, they'll be speaking. I said, this sounds like a terrible play. It's a very boring play. He says, no, that's why we've done experimental. 3 days, 3 shows. And 150-seater. So maximum lifetime seatage would be 450 if it went house full. So we rehearsed for 6 months, 4 months. And then it got delayed because we let those dates go. Because someone came and told us, don't open in the experimental, in the mini theater. Open in the big theater, the 1200-seater. I said, you're crazy. It's 2 guys talking about arthritis and glaucoma and aches and pains and a 75-year-old sex life. Can you imagine how boring that is going to be? Truly. But why are you getting scandalized? 75-year-old people talk about their sex life. Everybody's getting too scandalized. Anyway, we decide to open the play at the Tata Theatre 1200-seater for a play that's an experiment. And for some strange reason, it was house full. I was a newcomer. Sudhir Joshi was from Marathi theatre, one of the finest actors, but he was not known in English theatre. People sense things. People smell things. They understand when you're doing something good. They came, and opening night, 1200-seater house full for a play which was an experiment. We got a standing ovation. And I'm holding Sudhir's hand and saying, this is not what we thought it was going to be. The point I'm trying to make here is, guys, I don't like to spell out my anecdote and what the takeaway of the anecdote is, but this I will. That nothing is too small, nobody is too small, No product is too small. No amount is too small. When you buy or you sell something or you do something, you spend equal amount of time, vigor, energy, love, and passion for it because you do not know what that life can do for you. You got to put in your everything, no matter how small something is. That play ran for 10 years non-stop, house full, till the last 10 years. We came to Kolkata too, a couple of times. The last show, it was flooded in Mumbai. It was a house full. Tickets were being sold in black, something you don't hear of in the theater, let alone an experimental play. And Sudhir Joshi passed away, and after that we didn't do the show. And there I was, when people started saying, oh, who's this actor? I was no actor. I just worked hard at it. Then Gandhi came along. Feroz Khan of theater offered me to play Gandhi. I'm 6'2" and 105 kilos. I said, you're offering me to play Gandhi? He says, yes. I said, what, Frontier Gandhi? Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan? He said, no, Mahatma Gandhi. And he said, Baman, if you believe in it, people will buy it. You've got to believe that you are the man, and if you don't believe you're the man, how are they going to believe you're the man? If you believe it, people will believe it. So I lost 30 kilos to play Gandhi. My ribs could be seen. I became really thin. I was tall. I couldn't do anything about the height. I used to lose height and walk. And we opened that play in South Africa, in Durban, in a theater which was shutting down. A theater that was shutting down on a road called White Street. A theater for whites only. The next parallel road was called Black Street. And this theater was shutting down, and guess what? It took a play by Mahatma Gandhi to resurrect that theater on White Street. I did Gandhi, and this is a little bit of a look test. I'll show you a shot of I Am Not Bajirao. That's me and that's Sudhir Joshi. We're playing 75-year-old Parsi guy and Maharashtrian guy. And this was the little makeup test we did for Gandhi. That's me, believe it or not. No prosthetics, just lines. No prosthetics, just lines and shade and lost a lot of weight. Anyway, what happens next is another friend of mine from advertising. We're almost done, huh, guys? We're almost done. Another friend of mine from advertising, Ram Madhvani, comes and says, Maman, I want to make a movie. It's an experiment. And then mere ko hi sab experiment milta hai. And he decided to make a movie on Handycam. This is much before the YouTube zamana. Your phone, your iPhone has a better resolution than that damn Handycam. He says, we'll shoot this movie in 8 days. We'll rehearse it for 6 months. 6 months we'll rehearse it, and we go and shoot in 8 days, in one go. No 40, 50 days. And we went and shot this movie, completed it. And I asked Ram, when are we going to release it? He's saying, I thought I told you, we were never going to release it. And why do we do it? He's saying it's an experiment. We learn something from it. But we put our heart and soul into that movie that only 12 of us saw. 12 of us. In Ram's house, we had a premiere. We popped champagne. We gave it great reviews. And we gave it a standing ovation. Ourselves. And while this film was being edited, a gentleman walked and saw this.
Position that I am in, I should be banging things, throwing things, pulling my hair, swinging around. Am I doing anything like that? No.
Okay, so he sees this clip. One guy. Kaun hai ye actor? He's saying, Iran, Parsi hai. Bulao mere paas. He calls me home, gives me dinner. Guess what he gives me with dinner? A check of 2 lakh rupees. I said, why? He's saying, next picture? What are you doing next year? Band karna, Baba. What are you doing next year, December? Everybody asked me that question. I said, I don't know. What are you doing? He gave me a check of 2 lakh rupees. He's saying, you're going to be in my next film. I said, what's the name of the film? I don't have a film. What do you give me 2 lakh rupees for? He's saying, no, I don't have a film. I said, then why are you giving me this money? Because the day people will see this film, they will give you offers. And I don't want you ever to tell me that you didn't have dates for me. So I'm booking you now. The first film is with me. But he disappeared. He disappeared for 8 months. And I'm with that check. I never deposit checks, as you know. I left it in my pocket. And he called me after 8 months. And he said, Yara, कहानी मिल गई, पिक्चर मिल गई, क्या कहानी है, कमाल की कहानी है. I said, पिक्चर का नाम बोलिए सर. He said, मुन्ना भाई MBBS. My wife used to keep telling me, Baman, you're going to shoot, do this Let's Talk. You're never going to release this movie. Why are you wasting so much of your time? I said, you do something, no matter what the outcome is, do it right. And thanks to Let's Talk and that one clip, I got Munna Bhai MBBS, which I refused. I said, I don't like the name only. So, मेरा कैरेक्टर क्या है? कुछ नहीं करता है, हंसते रहता है. हाँ, what kind of idiot character is this? ये कोई रोल हो गया? नहीं, बातों में कुछ भी होता है ना, एंट्री में हंसता है. I said, this is the most stupid sounding character I've ever come across. He said, नहीं, बमन तू एक काम कर, जाके मेरे असिस्टेंट को मिल, राजू को. I said, अभी कौन मिलेगा राजू को यार? जाके राजू को मिल. What did I know? So he sent me to this guy, Rajkumar Hirani. And Rajkumar Hirani, of course, was just an editor those days. I didn't know. I went to his office and I met him. And there he was, simple guy. I said, I'm coming down and I give you half an hour. I sat with him for 9 hours. 9 hours. And he narrated me Munna Bhai MBBS. And I said, if even 30% of what you've narrated me and the way you've narrated me with the passion and the excitement and the comedy and the emotion, you got a winner. And I decided to, here's my friend Raju Hirani. One of the nicest people you'll see, simple person. I said, I want to make friends with you first. I want to hang with a guy like that, who's so kind and so nice. And we made Munna Bhai MBBS in a shoestring budget. Vivek Oberoi was supposed to do it, he dropped out. Shah Rukh Khan was supposed to do it, he dropped out. Kajol dropped out with Shah Rukh. Aishwarya dropped out. Tabu walked out. The only guy available was me. That was the only guy who was doing Munna Bhai MBBS. There was nobody else who was wanting to do this movie. Finally, we got a 44-year-old guy to play a college student, Sanjay Dutt. We made the movie in record time, and the movie, on day one, flopped. It flopped. There was nobody in the theater. Nobody believed in this movie. Nobody bought the movie. We released it ourselves. And Raju calls me from the theater and says, Baman, picture hit ho gayi. I said, really? He's saying, हाँ, कितने लोग हैं theater में? He's saying, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He started counting. I said, Raju, what kind of a joke is this? He's saying, no. The point is, it's not about the 100 crore club. When I'm watching people's faces watching this movie, you know, people are laughing and crying, and that's all. When I wrote this movie, I wanted this reaction. I didn't want 100 crores. And the movie didn't do too well. I used to go to Maratha Mandir every night, watch it from the back row, stand behind. Nobody recognized me. It was great. And one day I came out and I was very, very, very sad. And I stood on the footpath and there was a lady sitting on the pavement. Very rough looking lady. And she looks up at me and says, hey, Mamo. I'll tell you something. She said something to me that no great reviewer has ever been able to tell me. And she looked up and said, I said, Mamo, is she talking about me? Because it didn't click, you know. I never thought myself. I said, Mamo, kya kaam kiya yaar? You have no idea how wonderful that felt. Nobody is watching this movie, and this lady who's sitting on the pavement is telling me, kya kaam kiya? Nobody has paid me a bigger compliment in my life. Apart from my wife, of course. And then she stood up, and she said, Mamo, बहुत कमाएंगे हम लोग. Matlab, I thought she's some producer who had seen Bad Times or something, you know. What did I know? Saying, बहुत कमाएंगे हम लोग. कैसे? मैं black करती हूँ ना. ये picture बहुत उठेगी, देखना. And I called up Raju and said, something is clicking, my friend, something is clicking. She recognized the name of the character. And sure enough, the movie picked up. And within 4 days, it was the end of December. 4 days later, the nominations came out. The world swung around. The nominations came out 4 days later, and 8 days after the nominations came out were the first awards. Things just turned around within days. And I am standing there on stage on the night before the first awards, the eve of the first awards. I'm standing on stage and we were doing some presentation. Arshad Barsi and I were rehearsing. And he says, so Boman, what are you going to wear? So I said, what do you want to wear? He said, you can't come like this. Well, what suit? I said, Arshad, I don't have a suit. He's saying, what? He's saying, yeah, why would I need a suit? He's saying, you need a suit. You're nominated. You might even win. I say, no, I'm not winning here. He's saying, you're crazy. So he calls up Naresh Bhai of Masculine Tailor. And he says, Naresh Bhai, 24 hours एक सूट बनानी है, 24 घंटे में सूट बनानी है. He's saying, नहीं, बहुत award season है, नहीं बनेगा. He's saying, किसके लिए? He's saying, एक actor है BOMAN IRANI. He's saying, I don't know any BOMAN IRANI. So I felt a little bad. क्या है यार? इतना अच्छा काम किया था, वो lady भी बोली, इतना अच्छा काम किया था, ये बोल नहीं रहा है. So he said, कौन से पिक्चर में काम किया? Saying, मुन्ना भाई MBBS. मुन्ना भाई MBBS कौन है? Saying, वो डॉक्टर. अरे वो टकला, वो मामू. अरे मैं उसका बहुत बड़ा फैन हूं, मैं उसके लिए सूट बनाएगा. I felt so good. I felt so good, you have no idea. And then he says, okay, आप मास्टर जी को भेजो measurements लेने के लिए. He's saying, नहीं, वो सब टाइम नहीं है उसके लिए. देख तो फिर क्या करेंगे? He's saying, उनका हाइट क्या है? 6'2". देखो, he's telling Arshad, मेरे पास मुन्ना भाई का पायरेटेड डीवीडी है. मेरे पास मुन्ना भाई का पायरेट डीवीडी है. मैं टीवी पे लगाएगा और पॉज करेगा, फ्रीज करेगा. और 6'2" बोला ना, तो मैं ऐसा मेजर करेगा. 6'2" कितना? 14 इंच. तो उसका कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग जो भी इंच होता है, इधर लगाएगा, इधर लगाएगा, इधर लगाएगा, हाथ का नाप लेगा और मैं सूट बनाएगा, अंदाजे से बना के भेज देगा. So I said, okay. I said, okay. Comes the day, next day, Zenobia is sitting. I am in my jeans and t-shirt. Behind the set, it's a huge set. I'm down there, all right? My driver standing with me. He's holding one towel. They didn't give me a van also those days. Of course, why would they? You got to earn your dues, remember? I'm standing there, and this guy comes with a hanger and a suit. And I said, jaldi. And I kind of changed down in the open, backstage under the stage. And while I'm wearing the tie and I'm, wearing and zipping up, I didn't know what I was looking like. And Mr. Prem Chopra comes on stage and said, and the award for Best Supporting Actor goes to BOMAN IRANI. And I'm hugging the driver. I say, jao sir, award lene ko jao, kar kya rahe ho? And I suddenly decide to run. I come up the steps, I fall, I trip. I get up, I dust myself. I don't even know, my feet are not finding their place. I fell, I tripped, and just more or less like what has been happening to my entire life. Falling, tripping, getting up, dusting, moving. Falling, tripping, getting up, dusting, moving. I came out and I collected my first award. And that was for Munna Bhai MBBS. And life has been good to me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm afraid of comfort zones. And I like this monkey that is sitting inside of me to rediscover something and jump out with something new to offer for myself, if not anybody else. The rest of my story, you know better than I do. Thank you very much for being such a wonderful audience. Thank you so much. I would like to sing first. Let's sing the song first, and then we do Q&A. Okay, we got time for Q&A? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I got 2.5 minutes more to do something for you, and this is with your permission. Please sit. Please sit. With your permission, I always end my session with a song, and I'd like you to hear this song. It's a song called My Way. It is a song that motivates me every single time that I feel I need to be motivated. I'd like you to hear it. Do I have your permission to sing it first of all? Hey, come on, energy, love, yeah. Okay, the song is called My Way, made famous by Frank Sinatra. And this song was the song of the millennium. It's beautiful music, not important. The singer is not important. I'm singing, so it's not important. It's not too great. I'm not a singer. But I'd like you all to hang on to every single word and don't take videos of it. Live in the moment, Baba. Live in the moment. Don't take videos. Sometimes we get caught up in all this and we lose the moment. This song means so much to me, and I hope it will mean something to you, because all of you are great achievers. You're in this room because you have come here by achieving something, and you have done what you had to do your way. So I'm going to sing my way for you. I'd like you to give me a little volume and little echo reverb delay on the mic so it sounds like good singing. Thank you so much, guys. You've been a fantastic audience. You've been so attentive. It's been a long day. It's been a long session, but thank you for paying attention. Thank you for showing me that. Thank you. Play the track, please. Yeah, thanks again. And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friends, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I am certain. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each, too much echo, and every highway, and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this. Sing with me. I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced the ball and I stood tall and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed, I've cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing, and now as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way. Oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man? What is he got? If not himself, then he is not. To say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my way. The record shows I took the blows May I say something before we pack? I'm so sorry, darling. I called you. Come up. Just stay there, right there. I just want to say one thing. I mentioned my mother and how she's helped me, encouraged me to be an actor because she recognized the talent in me when I was a very little boy, and she encouraged me to keep going and watching movies. She never said, no, do your homework and homework alone. And even today, at 57, I'm a grandfather today. Tomorrow's my birthday, by the way. So, And my mother, whenever I leave home, even today, she treats me like I'm a school kid going to do a competition or something in school. And she gives me a rupee and says, you're going to Kolkata, where's the rupee? If I go abroad, she gives me 5. Thank God she's not giving me 500 and 1,000 rupees, but never mind, we talk about that later. But and she says, here's the pocket money for you, and she wants an account. Kaun aaya tha, kya nahi, I have to tell her everything, I have to remember all the names, it's very important. And then she says something very sweet, and she uses this word to me, and she said, BOMAN, and I turn and she says, sparkle. And I love it when she says sparkle. I feel so encouraged that even as a grown-up, I have somebody, including my wife and my family, who encourage me. Tomorrow morning, I'll go back to Bombay. And she'll want an account of every damn thing that happened in this room. What did you say? Did they laugh at this? Did they do that? Did you sing the song? Or how did they like it? Who was they compare? Or who introduced you? But she'll ask me 2 very important questions, which is the be-all and end-all of what should be everybody's life. And 2 important questions, and in anticipation, I'm thanking you for those answers. And those 2 questions are this. BOMAN, did they show you love? And I'll say yes. And did they show you respect? And I'll say yes. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for allowing me to tell my mom that you showed me love and respect. Thank you so much.
Mr. BOMAN IRANI, that was the most amazing story. You've left us awestruck. Thank you so much for being here with us, sir. Tomorrow it's his birthday. Can we all sing for him once?
Yes,
for
come
tomorrow.
on.
Yes, can we all sing for him, please? Happy birthday to you.
Louder.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. Happy birthday to you.
That's so sweet. Thank you so much.
May I request Ma'am Zenobia to kindly come on stage, please?
Ma'am Zenobia? Wow. Don't say that. I have to say Ma'am Zenobia for the rest of my life, man. Please, take it easy.
One big round of applause for this lovely couple, and what an amazing story.
Thanks so much.
May I request Mr. D.D. Prakash, sir, MD and CEO of ABP Private Limited and Chairman INFOCOM, to kindly come forward and felicitate and present a memento to Mr. BOMAN IRANI. Thank you so much for this wonderful story. We are absolutely inspired by what you've said. I was very emotional when you started singing, in fact. There were tears in my eyes. This was lovely. Thank you so much, ma'am. May I request Mr. Arijit Basu, Managing Director, SBI Life Insurance Company Limited, to kindly come forward, please, sir, and present a bouquet to Mr. BOMAN IRANI. Thank you very much, Mr. BOMAN IRANI, and
Good night. Yes.
Ma'am Zenobia.